Good morning, traders. What's going on? Happy Tuesday. Yartex, good morning. B money bags. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, or BS bags. I'm gonna call you B money. Marcus, good morning. I haven't seen your name in the chat in a couple days. Paul, Shez, Kevin, how's it going, you guys? Stockfather, I appreciate your kind words, but I would not call myself a master. I'm still a rookie. I'm still a newbie. Well, I feel like a little deja vu. Weren't we in a similar situation to this yesterday where we were like at or near all-time highs and also had no news, kind of just hoping for a pullback? That's what I'm hoping for. So let's find some possible pullback levels. Let me throw my VWAP on here. So made a new all-time high, starting to get a little pullback. So we have VWAP here. So possible opportunity there. We do have this high volume node that we had a little pullback to earlier and bounced off of it. So that could be a decent little liquidity grab spot at like 25,196 perhaps. I'm going to throw on a fixed range volume profile from the overnight session, see if we can find the put in control or maybe some high volume nodes. So the point of control from the overnight session is actually all the way down here at 25,151. That's a pretty big pullback. That's like 80 points from where we're at right now. I actually like a pullback to VWAP where I have the red dot at like 25,178. Because look, we also have that high volume node from the overnight session. So that's a decent support area. I don't normally pull up the fixed range profile from the overnight session just because I usually look at the higher time frame volume. But since we're at all-time highs, we don't really have support and resistance up here. So you got to kind of take what you can get. So I like this. There's some good confluence for a pullback to like 25,180, possibly take a long from there. But really, for me on a day like today, we just got to be patient and see what we get at the market open and hope for a pullback. Hope that it doesn't just go to the moon and continue grinding up and not give us an opportunity to enter. If it starts to pull, I'm not looking for shorts at this point. So don't get me wrong. But if we start to get like super heavy, maybe drop below the overnight point in control, and then like come up to 25,160, which is yesterday's point of control, and again show some selling pressure, I would probably flip to a short bias at that point. But far from that at this point. I don't even want to put that in your guys' heads. So what I'm looking for is 25,180-ish and possibly enter along there. But we'll see what we get. We'll see how the market opens. Kind of what I'm watching for. What about you guys? Have you taken any trades so far this morning or last night? How are things going for you? Oh, Shez, you're short. There you go. Mohammed, good morning. Yeah, the Power Patriot gold has been the item to watch lately. Gold has been on fire. Just lots of movement. decent trends, decent opportunities. Yeah, gold's been pretty good. Still continuing to pull back. We got market opening in about 6 minutes. Alex, that is a good rule. I like that rule. I don't mind trading pre-market because I feel like there's some good opportunities for possibly entering a position before the New York Open continues the trend, like if it's at a good, clean level. But I need to get better at locking myself out of the Asia session and not trading it at all. I don't know why I put myself through that suffering. Yeah, Yartex, that's a big learning curve, is like where to put your stop loss. The biggest thing I can say is size down so that you can give yourself a wider stop loss. Especially if you're trading, well, I think you said you were trading ES, but still, a wider stop loss is usually good, assuming you're putting it based on like levels and price action and stuff. Don't just put it at an arbitrary level. But giving the trade more room to play out is typically a good strategy. But that means you probably need to size down. I know you're only using one contract, so you're low in size anyway, but once you start to get to a level where you're adding size and adding more risk, size down a little bit so you can have a bigger, wider stop loss. That has helped me quite a bit. Good morning, Waffles. Good morning, Boomer. Welcome. What VRVP indicator am I using? So I believe the one I have is on the paid version of TradingView. So for me, I just type in visible range volume profile, and I have it favorited, but it's under the technicals right here. Oops. That one, under technicals, visible range volume profile. That's the one that I use. Sorry to hear that, Waffles. I know you mentioned you had a lot going on at work too, so possibly some emotional trading or something going on. In terms of learning how to let winners run, one thing that helps me is scaling out. And I'm not saying that my answer is the right answer. There's definitely successful traders out there that just trade like 1-to-1, full out, that's it. They don't try to catch the bigger part of the move, or like 2-to-1 or whatever. I scale out of my positions. So I usually will only leave a small amount of contracts for the runner. But that way, for me at least, it helps with my psychology with trading, because then at least I'm locking in some profits. I take out some at like a clear next level not too far off, maybe 20, 30 points away on NQ, which is not that big of a move. And then I'll leave runners for the bigger move and continue to trail my stop loss. So at least I've locked in some profits and then move my stop loss. So that's how I do it. I know there's lots of different ways to skin the cat. So whatever works for you. For the visible range volume profile, that is different from the fixed range volume profile, Mohammed. So the visible range volume profile, I'll turn it on right now. That's over here on the right side. And that shows the volume for whatever price is on the screen. So you can see when I adjust it, the volume on the right changes. This one over here is the fixed range volume profile, and I drew that from the 6 p.m. open over to the current. I don't normally do that, but when we're at all-time highs, you gotta take whatever volume you can get. So we are starting with a move down. Let's see if we hit that 180-ish level that I was kind of watching down here. Gonna be patient though and let this opening candle kind of settle. FXDM, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Still a lot of time open or still left in this 5-minute candle, but so far opening pretty red. Thanks, Linka. Us girls gotta represent. There's not too many in the trading world. There's not too many of us. Yeah, Alex, we might get another trading day like yesterday where there's just low volume chop because we don't have news again, government shut down, all that fun stuff. Well, that's why it's good to wait until the candle actually closes before making decisions, right? Because about 1 minute ago, it looked pretty bearish. Goodness, this open is all over the place. Chaz, are you still in that short? How's it looking? We have like a 30-point open so far, you guys. This is not a good sign for having good trading conditions today. Yeah, good for you, Shez. Being able to short all-time highs and stay green, that's a win. Good morning, Nick. This is the opening candle right here. Wicks on the top, the bottom. No, yeah, nobody knows where this thing's going. No clear direction. We shall wait and be patient. No news today, just lots of speakers. We do have Kashkari speaking at 11:30. Remember what I was talking about with him is a lot of times he makes the market go down. I'm not predicting that today, but a lot of times he makes it go down. All right, coming up to previous day high. Ah, S. Miller, thank you. I appreciate that. Interesting rejection of previous day high. There you go, Nick. Good trade. Don't like the idea of entering a long way up here. I would love to get more of a pullback, but that might be wishful thinking. Marcus off to the VWAP now? Like, time to pull back to VWAP? Is that what you're saying? That would be nice. It rejected that previous day high, held below it. Let's see if it gets back. 190-ish. I need to move my red dot. VWAP is moving. Maybe down there? Yeah, Nick, I think longs are definitely the play today, unless we start to get super heavy and get down below some of these levels, down towards like 25, 120-ish. But it's not looking like that so far. Man. Are you going to let us find an entry? Let's start putting on some of our anchored VWAPs. This is anchored at the New York Open. So far, this is our 15-minute opening range high. Opening range low, but we still have 5 minutes left. What are we looking at so far? 46-point range. Sheesh. Yeah. TradeDay funding, yep. I think I am number 10, so I barely skirted by into the top 10. Hopefully I can continue that today. I had a rough start last week, but got my head screwed on straight. Now I'm back. Trader Pro, good morning. Number 2 trader in the world? Seriously, take note, Marvel. You're crazy. Where do you come up with this stuff? Not even close. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I don't know. You're going to have to get to manifesting with a lot of power to make that happen, though. Speaking of trade day, you guys, if you saw the comment in the chat, I have a 50K account to give away when we get to 100 likes. We got 111 people watching. We can easily hit that like number. Let's go. Come on, pullback. Give it to me. I know you wanna. I didn't even put the clickbait in the title. I didn't even tell you guys I was doing a giveaway. I just mentioned it right now. I got tired of that. I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Because then you have those people that come into the comments just to find out when I'm doing the giveaway. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm trying to trade here. Nick, you have buy orders at 211. Interesting spot. I don't see that level marked off. Maybe, yeah, there's a little high volume node. Maybe that's what you're thinking. I think I'd like to see it come back to 190-ish, somewhere in that area. Goodness, you guys, this is choppy and gross. I don't like it. Yeah, VWAP is moving, so I don't know if I would wait all the way till 180 anymore. VWAP is sitting closer to 194 now. And the bottom of this high volume node that I have marked off is like 190. So somewhere in this general vicinity is what I'd be looking for a reaction on. Is ES having a funky, choppy open too? Yeah, a little bit. Starting to get a pullback. Hopefully NQ gets one too. Come on, give it to me. Even zooming out to the 5-minute chart doesn't even give a clear indication of what's going on. There's wicks all over the place. G-Man, there you are. What's up, man? Good morning. You had a busy day at work today? You didn't miss much, G-Man. This has been a nasty open. Nothing fun is going on here. Watching for a pullback to this area to possibly enter long. If we ever get there, it's not moving. This is what it's like to trade the Asia session, you guys. Pulling up financial juice. I don't know. I'm guessing this low volume chop is more due to not having any news and having the government shut down. I don't think the market's waiting for anything necessarily. No fun. What's gold doing? Here's the IB low on gold and the IB high. Look at that nice trend up. All right, NASDAQ, give us something good. Good morning, Maria. You guys, I might start waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to trade London. Oh, man. I feel like every morning I wake up, obviously hindsight's 2020. When you're in the middle of it, it might not be that easy to trade. But looking back, every morning I feel like, look, this is the London low. It opened up back here where my cursor is. So it chopped around for about an hour. And then it came down to yesterday's value area low, which is pretty much where the Asia low is. So you could have caught that low and then just rode it all the way up to all-time highs. Look at that beautiful trend. You might just stop sleeping, wake up at 2 a.m. and trade London. Because look at this crap that we get stuck with. I know it's just right now because of government stuff going on, but still, come on. Take note, Marvel, does market open affect gold as well? Well, the gold open is actually at 8:20 Eastern, not 9:30. But yeah, you'll get a little influx at the New York Open too. But it has a different opening time. Nick, are you asking really? Am I going to wake up at 2 a.m.? No, I'm not. I would be a zombie. Oh, Shez, lucky you. You're going to have different hours for trading. That'll be fun. Let us know how London goes. Min, I am being patient. This is just an ugly open. There's wicks all over the place. Still waiting. Let's see if we actually get a full bar, like a solid close on one of these candles. Not wicks. So these lines that I drew earlier, I drew before the 15-minute was actually closed, but this is the range now. These are the highs and lows, so we'll see if we break outside of one of these ranges or break outside the high or low. Ideally heading down though, so we can get a pullback to maybe enter a long. I don't want to see it break to the upside. Not until I get an entry. All right, Shiz, have a great day. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Min. With the low volume, there's just not enough buyers to change the direction or enough sellers to change the direction. It's just a slow, continuous grind either way. This is kind of making me wonder if we are going to get a direction, though. Because a lot of times it'll open up with a direction and then start to chop. This hasn't even opened up with a direction. Getting a little pop outside of the opening range high. Let's see if that's a fake out, and we head back down. I'm watching this. Might consider a short. All right, 260 is where I entered. Going to go ahead and put my stop loss right above that wick. Targeting somewhere down towards VWAP. That level I mentioned earlier at like 180 to 190. Yartex, I usually enter market, yes. Every once in a while, I'll do limit orders, but typically market. All right, I'm trailing to break even at least at this point. Let me put this on here. 260 is where I entered. See if I can get down to this general area. Where is our New York anchored VWAP? Have we passed that yet? Yeah, kinda. Not a solid close below it yet. Let's see if we can get some momentum. Keep going down. This is our 15-minute opening range low right now. Ideally, I'd like to see a little bit of continuation below it and actually go to VWAP. That's kind of what I'm targeting. At 202, 200, somewhere in this area. Kind of see how price reacts. All right, Power Patriot, have a good one. Right now it's bouncing at VWAP. I don't like that. Go down. Take note, Marvel, explain the trail, take profit, stop. So basically I just drag this, like that would be my stop loss. And if I keep moving it, it'll move it into profit. This is my stop loss. So at the very worst, if it moves on me, I'll make $60 off of this trade. And then this is my take profit here. Same thing. I don't know if that's what your question was. The chop continues. Joseph, it's going up. Get out. I'm good. I'm sure it'll go up at some point, but I'll take the short until then. Yep. I see that, Alex. There's a high volume node there. It looks like it's getting below that. Might make it down to 180-ish. So far, so good. That's the bottom of the opening range. Let's see if we get some continuation. Trailing my stop a little bit more. It's bouncing there. I don't love that. Probably should have scaled out a little bit there. All right, I won't be greedy. I'll take some off at the opening range low. Be smarter with my scaling out. Yeah, super choppy. Come on, don't bounce from here. A little more of a pullback. Where is VWAP sitting at this point? 204. That would be a nice bounce spot. 204. Or even 180, where that high volume node is. Come down a little lower. It's holding that opening range low right now. Explain why I took the short. It was just a short from the 15-minute opening range high. As we came into the open, before the market opened, I was hoping for a pullback to be able to enter long. And we never got a pullback. It just went up. So I took a short at the opening range high. It was mostly a good risk to reward trade. My stop loss was like 3 points or something like that. So my thought was if I could get back down to the opening range low or a VWAP, then the risk to reward on it was good. No. I'm not a master. Just trading. It's coming back up and testing that New York anchor VWAP. Let's see if it continues back down. The choppiness is making it tough. If it starts to reject from here, I'll add a couple more to my position because that's a good spot to reject for continuation back down if it's going to happen. Yeah, Verisa, I probably shouldn't have held so long. It's kind of looking like I should have taken all of it off at the opening range low. Not working out like I hoped. If we're going to continue back down, this is kind of where I'd like to see it reject. At VWAP, the anchored VWAP. And then we also have a high volume node from the overnight session. But nope, it's continuing back up. All right, this is our opening range high. Let's see what happens up here. That was a pretty big buy up. Sitting at previous day high again. If we're going to be stuck in this range, we might be able to short the top again. Let's see what happens. Risk to reward for a short. Yeah. I might wait for it to go up a little bit higher. Well, there we go. Super unclear. It's coming back down to the New York anchored VWAP and point of control. Let's see if it bounces back up or if it gets below this level. So far, it's holding. Where's it gonna go? Is it gonna hold view up or is it going back down? trying along. Not going to give it much room to move. See if it goes back up to range high or the overnight highs. Again, simply a risk to reward play. It's not holding. I don't know. I'm not sold on the fact that it's actually going to break one direction hard. We might be stuck in chop all day today. The 5-minute had a nice bounce off that opening range low. So let's see if we make it back up to those overnight highs. Do I use raw spread or zero commission on trades? Yeah, there's a fee on every trade. I'm not sure what you're asking. Just whatever the prop firm charges. Yeah, this 5-minute chart, I mean, doesn't matter what time frame you go to. The 15-minute is even worse. Wicks all over the place. Yeah, waiting for it to break outside the range. Or at least go to one of the edges of the range. It's probably the smarter idea. Volume is dropping off. Good job, Mohammed. Very nice. This is a hard day to get a profit target, so congrats. All right, coming down to my stop loss. There it goes. VWAP sitting at 208. Let's see if we get down there and bounce. My goodness. Not fun. So we do have initial balance being set soon, but I laugh because initial balance is pretty much the same as the 15-minute opening range. That's wild. Charlie, VWAP is volume weighted average price. So that's what this blue line is. This darker blue line is the VWAP anchored at the session open from 6 p.m. last night. And then I have this light blue VWAP, which I anchored at the New York open. See if we ever get to one of the edges of the range or outside of the range. Yeah, this is crappy, G-Man. Really bad. Destiny Living? No, you didn't miss a single thing. Price action is horrible right now. Well, you guys, I said I do have a giveaway for you if we get to 100 likes. We got enough people watching to get there. Let me know if you want one. Go hit that like button. Doing a duck race would be more fun than this. Stockfather, have a great one. Yeah, going outside would probably be a good move. Go getting other stuff done. All right, let's see if we actually get outside the range. Oh my gosh. It looked like it was moving. There you go, Charlie. Thanks. YM was good. Dang, why don't I start watching YM? Yesterday it was good too. Yep. Again, super clear direction at the open. Just, well, I guess that first candle maybe could have faked you out and then it was just down from there. All right, NQ coming down to VWAP. I'm not going to be super quick to enter along anymore because I don't like the chop. Let's see what happens. Kind of lost interest in trading this crap. We do have this high volume node from the overnight session sitting around 180-ish. So it could break below VWAP and continue down. It could hold here. Gonna be patient and see what happens. There you go, Marcus. You taking along? Let's go. I'm watching. It's holding. Thinking about it. Yeah, considering long. But I'm going to see how this candle closes. Trying to stay patient. All right, I'm in 215. 25, 215 is where I entered. See if we get back up to the top of the range. I'll definitely scale out here and then leave some runners in case this is an all-time high kind of grind. Yeah, it's within the $200 risk. That's why I went 10. Come on. So this is our initial balance low. Hopefully it holds. That was a quick buy up. Oh, good, Yartex. I'm glad that helped. It's a simple tool, but it's super powerful to help you keep your risk consistent. Well, that was a big buy up. It bounced. Selling back off. Oh my goodness, this chop sucks. Let's get a good, solid close. Strong close. Come on. We got decent volume so far on this candle. We still have almost 2 minutes left. Yeah, Verisat, I'm hoping for a strong 5-minute close. If it has a big wick on the top, that's not a good look. So I don't know where the 21 EMA is, but I'm hoping this closes strong. All right, Marcus, have a good one. $232 is where it's sitting. Ah, okay. So pretty much the top of this 5-minute candle. Coming down to VWAP again. It's definitely looking weak. There it goes. Stopped me out. Alrighty. Goodness. Did not have a great read on that. So now that it's below VWAP, we have point of control from yesterday's session. And then we have all this liquidity from overnight down here at like 25, 125 region. There you go, Brandon. Good job. Starting to get heavy. Let's see how it closes. If it closes back within the initial balance low, could see more upside, but it's looking like it wants to continue down. Finally getting that volume, and it is to the downside so far. Yeah, if this thing keeps going, keeps closing outside the initial balance low, I wouldn't be surprised to see it come back down to 25, 125-ish and beyond. If the trend is going to continue. All right, guys, where are we at on likes? Are we going to make it to 100? $82. You're out of your short now, Verisat? Are you more of just a scalper? You take a couple points and get out? Or are you thinking it's heading back up now? Coming back up to that initial balance low. Let's see if it rejects there, continues down, or if it closes back within the range. That would be interesting. So far, it's rejecting it. Well, yeah, definitely didn't have a great read on that one, you guys. That's all right. I think I'll probably just set some alerts at different levels and come back if they get hit. So point of control is a good area to watch from yesterday. It's kind of the top of a high volume node just to kind of watch for a reaction there. But even more at this area down here. London low, Asia low, value area low, all that spot. I could see that being a good spot for a bounce if it continues lower. We might end up closing back within the initial balance low. No, this is still looking pretty heavy. Anyone still in a short? I know a couple people got in. You're looking for a long, Waffles? Yeah, I was kind of watching for a long in this general area, but it's looking heavy. I don't know. Might want to come down a little bit more before it bounces. I do have this drawn up from the overnight session though. There's some high volume nodes down to like 176 or so. Nandia, yeah, it's looking like it wants to continue down. Times like this is when I like to stay on the 5-minute chart, because you could look at the 1 minute and it looks like there's bounces, but zooming out to the higher time frame, it's not going up right now. Only red candles. Interesting spot though. It's kind of holding a little base here. Oh, Charlie, look at that. Thanks, man. He just sent 5 gift memberships out to some of the people in the chat. That's cool. Feeling generous, huh? I love it. 444 trading. Yeah, today has been tough. I've taken a couple losses too. Hard to read price for me today. Interesting spot. Might consider a long here if this continues to hold. This is a high volume node that I had marked off. Not a ton of volume, obviously, because we're at or near all-time highs. On the 5-minute, there's lots of wicks on the downside. Looks like it's trying to hold. Let's see if it gets back above VWAP and the initial balance low. And I would consider entering. Verisat, if this ends up going back up, then good for you exiting that short. Looks like it is trying to hold. Still rejecting that initial balance low. No clear continuation either direction right now. Are you talking about the 5-minute Trader Pro? Nope, heading back down. It did come down to that 180 level that I was watching from the overnight session, high volume nodes over here. This is ugly, you guys. Eight minutes left on this 1 hour candle. And it's closing pretty strong to the downside. A lot can happen in 8 minutes. If you want to see ugly, check out your DraftKings. Not going well for you this season. Well, on the 1 hour, where are we headed? I don't know. I still like this level down here at like 25, 120-ish. If it's going to continue. Still trying to hold. Uh-oh. Short and all-time highs. Good luck with that. What do you think, you guys? Is this trying to hold at this level, or is it just chopping until it moves down some more? Looking at the hourly, this is a decent level to hold. We'll see how it closes in the next 4 minutes. Charlie, you think it's still going down? Yeah, who knows at this point. You should have shorted an hour ago. Well, yeah. We all should have shorted an hour ago. There's not really any continuation either way. I'm not sold on this thing just dumping. Went long on NQ at 180. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if that's just me having a long bias, like looking for a way to enter long. But that's what I'm seeing, is that it's holding this level, wants to go back up. Good luck with your trade, tendies. Hope it works out for you. Are we close on likes? Cool. Let me get this form ready. Starting to head back down. Not looking great. Oh, we got there. 102. All right, guys. Just put the link in the chat. There's a giveaway form for you. Fill that out. I'll give you some time to fill it out. Maybe, I don't know, 7 minutes or so. At 11:10 Eastern, we'll do it. Coming into yesterday's point of control at 160. At this point, I feel like 120, it's a good area to come down to. Getting heavy. Blasting right through these levels now. You got out of your gold short too early. Shocker. That's funny. It definitely did not turn around at 170. Well, I feel you, Charlie. I've been wrong a lot today, too. Looking left to kind of see where the liquidity grabs are. We have London low sitting at 128 and Asia low at 122. Those would definitely be good, decent bounce spots. And then we have another wick sitting down at like 25, 110 if this thing stays heavy. Which it definitely is. Did not bounce at London low. Not bouncing at Asia low. My goodness. What is happening? Did I miss something? Do I need to pull up Financial Juice and find out what in the world is going on? All right, where are we headed? Previous day low. I mean, there's we have the gap that we haven't filled down at 25K, basically 24,986. Is that where we're headed? Typical market manipulation. Nothing new here. If this thing does come down to previous day low and fills that gap at 24,986, might be a long opportunity. I'm not going to try to catch a bottom. I'm not trying to catch a falling knife. But just saying I'll be watching that level. Wow, wow, wow. That's interesting how it just cut straight through London, Asia low, that whole area where you would have thought there'd be some sort of bounce. There was nothing. Like even on the 1 minute chart, there was nothing. This is funny. And Fed Speaker Kashkari is not even speaking yet. He's usually the one who dumps the market like this. All right, if it does not bounce at that gap fill at 984-ish, where is this thing headed? I mean, it could come all the way down to 24,830. How wild would that be? Going from all-time high all the way to 24,830, what would that be? I can't even math that. 450 points. Let's go. Bring it on. All right, Nandia, have a great one. I don't see any big like red announcements coming across my news feed on Financial Juice. It's just Fed speaker, Fed Moran. Oh, well, I just saw something about Nvidia. They lost $100 million, or Oracle lost $100 million from Nvidia. I don't think that's the only reason this is dumping, though. There's a lot more going on than that. Well, little high volume node I had marked off, and that was previous week value area high. It's getting a bounce there. Where is it headed? All right, I said I was going to do the giveaway at 11:10. I got distracted by the markets, that big dump. So I didn't send out any verbal reminders. If you guys are just tuning in or you stepped away for a second, I did put a giveaway form in the chat. Fill that out. I'll give you another 2 minutes or so. And we'll get that duck race going. I got a 50K account giveaway for you. So far, that level's holding. I'm not longing it, though. I don't want to try to catch a falling knife. I think this could definitely head lower. But I've been wrong all day, so who knows? Could be wrong again. The giveaway link, let me grab it again. It might have disappeared in the chat. There you go, Donna. Probably going to go back to all-time highs. Yeah, wouldn't that be wild? So one thing you could watch is I like to anchor a VWAP to see where the momentum is sitting. So if this thing breaks that low of day VWAP, then it could start to continue down. If it holds above, then it could continue going up. That was a pretty strong bounce though, and it's holding as of now. Yeah, Charlie, I'm definitely not trying to catch a falling knife here. That was a big drop. And I don't feel like it bounced at the best level. It could definitely come down to previous day low. I'm sitting out for now. We'll see what happens. What will be my confirmation that it holds? Uh, Honestly, I wouldn't be trying to take a long here. I think if I'm going to enter a trade, I would probably watch for a short up here at 25, 187-ish. There's lots of confirmation for, or confluence, I guess, for this level. It's a high volume node. It's also where the value area low, Asia low, like all that. Lots of trading happen here, and both VWAPs are intersecting right there. So it would make me miss that whole move up, and I wouldn't be riding it on a long, but I also didn't want to try to catch a big heavy drop like that. And for me, I have not had a great read on the market today. So sitting out is probably best. All right, I'm going to grab your guys' responses and sort them real quick just to double check that there's no duplicates. And we'll get a duck race going. I don't see any duplicates. Very nice, very nice. All right, let me grab your names. Get the duck race started. Honest audience. Yep. Alrighty, so this is for a 50K TradeDay account. That's what we're going for. That's what we're playing for. Are you guys ready? On your mark, get set, go. Pace yourselves, pace yourselves. Renzo getting a hot lead. Slow and steady wins the race. Someone sitting in the middle of the pack right now is getting ready to make their move. Who's it gonna be? Oh, this is close. No one wants to come out too fast. Lakeisha, I love the clown get up. Oh, Kevin's kind of sneaking through the pack. Kevin's making a move. Brandon? Oh no. Who's it gonna be? Nickens? That was a quick move at the end. Brandon! Oh, Brandon lost it. I'm probably messing up the pronunciation. Nickens. Are you in the chat? Are you here? Yay! Nick's here. Awesome. I will get that sent over to you in Discord. We're already connected on Discord, so I'll get that sent to you. It's a code to get you a 50K TradeDay account. Congrats! Alrighty. I know, Brandon. I thought you had it. There was like 6 seconds left and you just lost it. No more energy in the tank. All right, it's coming back up to this level here. So if I was to enter a short, it would be on the break of this low-a-day VWAP, anchored VWAP. And this is a decent spot for a rejection if it's going to continue lower. So it might look like something like entering there, putting the stop loss above the wick, targeting previous day low. That's just an idea, but I would want to wait for it to drop below this anchored VWAP because I feel like it could still potentially come up to these VWAPs up here. So that's kind of what I would be looking for. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day there on the stream. Probably should take a break from trading anyway. I appreciate you joining me. It was a fun day. Even though price action was not fun in the beginning and my trading was not great. My food route, this is on Trading View over here on the side. The forecast or projection tools, anchored VWAP right there. So if you click on that and then anywhere you click on this screen, it'll anchor a VWAP from that candle. And then I make it red when you go to the settings. When you click on it, the settings right here, I make it red just to signify the low of day anchored VWAP. If I do it from the top, I make it green. That's just my own personal color vibes. But that's how I do it. All right, guys. Have a fantastic day. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow at the New York Open. Have a good one, guys.